Ladies and gentlemen, meet the 2015 Jaguar XJL, and the L stands for long. Now, we have reviewed this car a number of times, so check out TFL4K.com for news, views, and of course, plenty of XJ reviews. But today, I'm going to do something special. I'm going to give you my 3 favorite likes and dislikes of this brand new all-wheel drive Jaguar XJL, and that is coming up right now on the Fast Lane Car. So let's start with the dislikes. Number 3 is, and this is more of a personal preference than a real dislike, it's the all-wheel drive system on this car. Basically the way it works is, because Jaguar believes that the optimal handling of a large sedan like this is rear-wheel drive, the system is rear-wheel drive biased. So 90% of the power goes to the back, and then once you get onto slippery conditions, up to 50% can be allocated to the front. I'm not a big fan of that kind of power shifting. Even in the Buick, when it's front wheel drive for fuel economy and then the power goes to the back wheels when it starts to slip, I just like to have it go to all 4 wheels all the time, like an Audi, like a BMW, and even a Subaru. So while the system is rear wheel biased, there's just too much lag and stuff that can go wrong between it going from rear wheel drive to all wheel drive. Just give me all 4 wheels getting powered all the time. I am a huge fan of this supercharged V6 that puts out 340 horsepower, and that is my number 3 like. What's so great about this engine is that up here at a mile above sea level, that forced induction really gives this car some get up and go. And it's powering an automatic 8-speed transmission for a combined 19 mpg, which is really good for such a massive car. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm not sure you need that bigger supercharged engine that you can get in this vehicle. And yeah, for all you Europeans, we don't get the diesel version. America, gosh darn it, we like petrol, or is it gasoline? Number 2 dislike is depreciation. Let's face it, Jaguars in America depreciate like a rock, and that has to do with the fact that for a long time Jaguar had the reputation of being unreliable. So people didn't trust these cars. They leased them, and when they went off lease, you can get them for nothing. Let me give you an example of that. The local Jaguar dealer sends around a newsletter about this time every year, and you can get an XJ like this the current year for anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 below MSRP. Now that's not fair to Jaguar. They've come up in their reliability, they've come up in their performance, they've come up in their just overall style, but it's like turning around a super tanker. Once you have a reputation for being unreliable, it takes a long time to get that reputation back, and you end up with really fast depreciation. My number 2 like is style. I mean, look at that. It is just a drop-dead sexy cat, if I can use that metaphor. I remember when it first came out and you had that kind of darkened C-pillar and it looked kind of strange. Now it's grown on me. It's really aged well. It's sleek, it's sexy, it's elegant, it's modern. All right, there's just a little bit of stodginess around the edges. Those rear tailpipes are a little on the heavy side, but in general, I think this is a car that's going to look gorgeous 10, 15, 20 years from now. My number one dislike is the price. I like this car so much I wish I could afford it. This one is just over $87,000, and here in Colorado you cannot get a great lease deal on a Jaguar. Of course, it competes with cars like the 7 Series, the A8, and the S-Class. These can be a lot more expensive, but you put that big supercharged V8 under the hood, this car also gets a lot more expensive. And when a car depreciates rapidly, the cost of entry can be a stumbling block to ownership. My number one like? That's easy, exclusivity. You just don't see a lot of these around. Sure, probably driving around I'll bump into a 7 Series, maybe an S-Class, certainly an A8 here in Colorado, but an XJ, they're far and few in between. And if you're looking for something that impresses your friends, your neighbors, and says, well, I'm not gonna follow the rest of the herd and get a German car, but I'm gonna get something that's distinctive, something that's traditional, something that's sexy, well, this is the car. Overall, on the TFL scale of buy it, lease it, rent it, or forget it, that's easy. I'm gonna give it a buy it. I like this car so much. I just wish I had $87,000 burning a hole in my pocket, because if I did, wanted a big luxury sedan, I'd give it some serious thought. See you guys next time. Ciao.